evening is Terrence.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Terrence, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Terrence.
Thank Kyle and the Corporate Mention Group for inviting me up here. You guys invited me up here a couple of times. For whatever, it's a great group of people, and I really enjoy them. It's a blessing and a miracle and a privilege. It really is to do it. We hear that, a lot of times, but it is to do it as alcoholics anonymous. Especially when we go start talking about them once upon a time type of people we were, and then what we come into. So my sobriety date is July the 14th of 2006, and we just celebrated. I don't know what to think or feel about that. It's just, what do you do? A day at a time, you just keep it simple, is what they told us, and you keep doing it. And I want to welcome the new people here. At our home group a few weeks ago, they had this thing at the end of the meeting. They talked about we were all once new people at one time. And I told them I was probably I've been more than a new person more than once. They weren't talking about me. So if you do, I'll ask you the same things that they asked me not to compare, but identify. Okay, because a lot of things I'm getting ready to share with you, if you're new, whatever time you get, is not a requirement to allow this program to work for you, okay? Because see, I didn't even know what I was dealing with. I didn't know nothing about alcoholism. I didn't know nothing about a mental obsession, a physical craving. I didn't know nothing about that. I put the substance down and you'll be all right. That's how far off I was. I'm going to show you how far off I was. If you can do any type of math. You even got to be able to do no math to figure this one out. I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I was introduced to, I say in Cleveland, shirt over there, whatever. February 3rd, 1987. 25 years old. In a place called Rosary Hall that has history with Alcoholics Anonymous. History said Sister Nation worked there and stuff or whatever. Obviously, she wasn't there then or whatever. But I was so far off. So let's back up a little bit and see how did you get so far off. I don't remember my first drink. Now I seen drinking in my household. My father drank, his buddies drank, and stuff like that, and that's what they did. All that stuff was just normal. Whatever. I don't remember my first drink, but I remember my first drunk. My first drunk happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was visiting my sister. I was about 14 or 15 years old. And I know now that I was drinking with a guy who was advanced in drinking, because we drank a fifth of Wild Irish Rose and a quart of split malt liquid gold. And that was my first drunk. And everything that happens to you with the bed spinning and getting sick and clowning and blackouts, which is very, very scary. All that kind of stuff. But let's see how far off I was in my thinking process, because that's what the main problem is, right? And I was fool. So my thinking at that time after that was, I can't wait to get back to Cleveland so I can tell my friends I've been drunk, because I have something to talk about now. Never mind being sick and not doing it no more and growing up and this type of stuff. And we hear it, all the time and stuff. But God knows I needed a solution for this thing called life, because we hear it up here all the time, and I'm no different. Full of anxiety, full of fear, don't fit in. I stuttered, couldn't do nothing, couldn't connect to life. But as soon as them basement parties and I started going down the street and hanging out, and we started drinking beer and smoking that marijuana and stuff, whatever, I finally fit in. And boy, okay, this is what it's about now. No, it's not, but this is what it's going to have to be about me, because I don't have no other solution. Well, there was no solution. My father drank statement that said, I'm going to drink it until I die. That's what he told my mom in one of those verbal arguments. Okay? I didn't know what he was probably not. And this is not his story. This is my story because I want to focus on my thinking. And all of those actions that I've seen, I'm with my father and his drinking and stuff like that. My thought process is, I won't drink like that. Well, it killed him. What you think it's going to do to you? Because, see, the warnings, they talk about a peculiar mental twist and all this and that type of stuff and coming back from the power and all that type of thing. I can identify with that. Because all those warnings that I got from school, seeing the experience at home, from church and stuff or whatever, when I drank alcohol, none of that stuff happened. Y'all trying to keep something from me. This thing is a matter of life. You want me to have no fun. And that's what I told my brother. I told my brother, if he told me about getting out of high school, he said, Terrence, you need to go to college. Computers is going to be booming. You know what I heard him say? I don't stay away from your friends. I don't want you to have no fun. That's what I heard him say. That's how far from what? He works from home now. I got to go in the morning. Yeah, I got to go in the morning. Went this morning too. I thank God for that. That ain't no burden. So, and like I said, if you do, a lot of these things I'm going to share with you that you don't have to do if you believe you're the real deal or whatever. It's just two conclusions that I had to draw. He told me I had to draw. A lot of things happen. Terrence, are you experiencing lack of control? Yeah, I've been experiencing that. I'm in control. Can you stop when you want to? Oh, the inability to quit even with the desire to do so? And both of those things were true for a long time. They were true before I even recognized that they were prevalent in my life. Okay? So, let's go to this first treatment. Y'all ready to go to the first treatment? Let's go to roll it off, 25 years old. And so, I'm drinking, and I'm using other stuff. So I believe I'm in there for the other stuff. So I'm in there to share, and they talking about some of the same things we're going to talk about. You hear them all the time. Big book meetings, sponsored, and all that kind of stuff or whatever. And not drinking one day at a time, this first week, all that stuff. So after about 2 or 3 days, I go to the counselor lady, because we have an individual counselor, and there's a 2-week stay or whatever. This is 1987. And I was sincere. I said, when y'all going to show me how to stop using this other substance, because I don't have a problem with alcohol. She said, listen, you don't understand. If you don't do what these people tell you to do and leave everything alone, your life is not going to get any better, and you're going to be drunk again. That was February 1987. My sobriety date is July 14, 2006. Did she lie? Those were the beginning of the first pieces of truth that smashed my thinking, beliefs, and conceptions and ideas on how Terrence was going to live his life. Well, that was just the first one, so you know I had plenty more. Just like comparing or whatever, things that hadn't happened to me yet. So, I got to tell you about the second one. We're not going through all of this. Let's go back to Rose Rock. Because this is alcohol anonymous. I know I just tell you what happened in treatment. So they tell you dry places, dry people, all those things make sense and stuff, whatever. And I go right back to my friends and stuff, and I'm telling them what they told me in treatment. And they said, well, we ain't dry, and this and that type of stuff. That lasted me 4 months. I was dry for 4 months. During that time, my father passed away, and I seen the end results of alcoholism and what it does in his life. When they took my father out of the house, his stomach was bloated like he was pregnant. His face was puffy. His eyes was yellow. He couldn't even wear shoes, and he was not to return back to that house again. And he passed away. Alcohol killed him. So my dryness lasted about 4 months, and I'm drunk again. Now, somewhere along the line, I don't know what was happening. He said, Alcoholics Anonymous or in the treatment, whatever, ruin your drinking. And it happened. Because as soon as I started drinking again, that's when I heard what you need to do not to drink. Because I had exposed myself to the truth. And seeing people that don't live like that couldn't do it comfortably no more. And on down the line, I'll tell you something from my experience. When I had exposed myself to the truth and admitted certain things, there's not enough drugs and alcohol to drown out the truth. You know. So when they say it gets worse, yeah, you go into jail or this and that, and car wreck and all of that. That's just the whole material thing. This inside is beat up. This conscience is beat up. Now I'm hiding from you. You gotta be hiding from them for. Because I know how they live. And I know I'm like them. And I'm unwilling to do what they did, to get what they got. That's why, because I'm dishonest, closed-minded, and unwilling. So, second time, so I went back to Rosary Hall, and I remember certain speakers that come in there. So this one guy, and I imagine he had a strong message and stuff like that. I remember it. So I'm telling some of the other clients in there, going down the hallway to the meeting room. I told him, I remember that guy. I'm going to see if he remembers me. So I run up behind the guy, and I tap him on the shoulder. I say, hey, remember me? I told him, I heard you when I was in here before. He turned around slow. He said, you ain't heard nothing I said. If you heard me, you wouldn't be back here again. They wasn't playing. They didn't play. Okay? So, that went on and then rocked on or whatever. And I imagine I went to a couple of meetings. They had suggested halfway house and three-quarter house or whatever they had suggested. Anyway, but things didn't get any better. So I brought into your fellowship because there's two things going here. There's a program that's on this wall up here, and it's in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous that'll change our thing and it will be a session. And then there's a fellowship which we're doing here. Now I like the fellowship stuff, whatever. But as far as my life or whatever, that's none of your business. I'm not telling you nothing about me. I don't know nothing about you or whatever. But I'll come in. And there's nothing wrong with these things I'm ready to share with you. I'll set up your chairs. I'll make you coffee or whatever. I'll shake your hand. If you got slogans around the wall, I'll come along and if I remember them. And then I became a parakeet. One day at a time. And I'll do all that stuff because that don't require me to change nothing. That just requires me to memorize something. And I'll get a sponsoring name so when you come up there and ask me how I'm doing, I can shoot you off with a slogan. But for the grace of God, easy does it. So you think I'm in the program. Not only am I not in the program, ain't a better program than me. And so you talk about people that we think, welcome the ones in their first 30 days. So how many times I've been in my last 30 days? And on my way out the door. And I remember vividly sitting there with untreated alcoholism, seeing another speaker and say, you gone. You defeated. Hope you get another sobriety day with that attitude. I'm not about it. So I did the fellowship, and for this alcoholic, I know exactly how long your fellowship will last. Be 2 years, 1 week, and 1 day, and you will be drunk. That's my experience. And so I purposely stayed away from the big book conference because we watch when we come in here. I don't know what. I know the group that's got them books under their arm and chain, and I stayed away from them. Up in Cleveland, they dressed sharp and they talked slick, and they were doing the deal. I know it was going to require some work, so I stayed away from them. I kind of hear hustle, we kind of hear what they were saying and this and that type of stuff, but I really didn't want to do nothing. And so I kept ending up in detox and treatment, and those guys were really doing the deal. And so they came and smashed some more of my beliefs or whatever. So I'm sitting in detox one time, and they come in there, and they would say stuff like this. I knew who they were, whatever. And I asked them, I'm in detox. I asked them, how y'all doing? They looked better than you. Well, they wasn't lying. They wasn't lying. They were doing better than me. They probably just left from eating or whatever, and they going home after that and stuff or whatever, right? And they would say little simple stuff. I'll never forget this little simple stuff because this is a simple program. So, they were reading how it works and stuff like that, and they take a little survey, and I'm thinking I'm participating. They say, who's been around this program and back again? I raise my hand. You know what else they say? They say, okay, you've tried to recover other than the way it's outlined in the big book. I couldn't deny none of that stuff. We read it and hear it all the time. Every time we seen a person fail who was thoroughly followed out it gets so repetitive, it gets started going over my head, and I just memorize it. So I'm thinking I'm following a path. If I memorize it, no, there's no chapter in our big book into memory. None. It's not. So then I would compare myself or whatever, and they were talking about things that hadn't happened to me yet, like homelessness, out of garbage cans, and losing jobs, and this and that type of stuff. And I'm in detox now. I'm a parent. I'm sitting there saying I must not be alcoholic because these things haven't happened to me yet. Now, I know they weren't mind readers, but they followed my thought with this statement. They said, you can't be sitting there thinking that these things won't happen to you. And I said to myself, you're right. I'm in detox. You know what they said out there? They said, how can you honestly sit there and say what won't happen to you if you're already sitting somewhere you don't want to be and never plan to be sitting here? I said, oh. And they backed that up with another proof. They said, yeah, because we all asked the teacher. Or the teacher asked us in 4th or 5th grade, whatever age she asked us, what you want to be when you grow up? Detox, treatment. And so I'm sitting somewhere I don't want to be and never plan to be sitting there. And I don't know, all of this is alluded to powerlessness and my life being unmanageable. Time rock on, things are getting worse. So finally, I said, this ain't getting bad, so I got to get them big book numbers because they got it going on, they know what they're doing. And I got with them, and things began to get a little better. They took me through the step process and things and that. And we met every day at a coffee shop downtown Cleveland. And from there we either went to a meeting, either a detox unit to share, or somebody's home and stuff or whatever. But I remember one thing that happened early on, whatever, because they would always ask me, what's going on with you. They check everything and see what's going on. So one day I go down there, they asked me, they said, Terrence, what's going on? I said, man, I think something's wrong. What do you think wrong? I said, ain't nothing happening. They said, ain't nothing supposed to be happening. I'm not used to no type of peace and serenity. I have a cycle of chaos in my life all the time, and something has to be getting ready to happen. The doctor has a name for it, restless, irritable, and this and that. So if ain't nothing happening, and if I don't have a spiritual way of life, guess what? I got to make something happen. Because I'm comfortable with chaos. I don't know this. I'm comfortable with remorse, guilt, and shame. And early on, serenity scares the hell out of me because I don't know what it is, because I ain't never had it. That's why. So this lasted 4 years, almost close to 5 years. There's a warning up here behind me. It says, continue to take personal inventory when the wrong promptly admitted it. To make a long story short, the steps began to work in reverse, and I was drunk after 4 years and 11 months. This was either late 2099 or something like that. And they told me some more truth, and I got resentful at the whole entity of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm not coming back. Okay? And that's kind of what I learned of another place, or somebody introduced me to another place, and we're going to go real quick so I can get back here and recover, but I'm resentful because they told me some truth. And I woke that monster up. And this is a progressive illness or whatever, so, and it's true. I didn't pick up where I left off. I picked up if I had not even stopped. As if I had not even stopped. So 4 years, almost 5 years of regression. It took 7 to get back. And what I mean by get back is get back with a mind to do something and a heart that's willing to do something to change my life. Okay, so they introduced me to the discipleship ministry, and that's what brought me to Florida. I didn't come down here for you beaches or vacation or nothing like that. I came down. We're going to go real quick. There's a ministry institute up in Jacksonville. That's the first place I live. We're going to this ministry institute. Let's keep in mind, he's resentful at a whole entity of people that God is helping. Okay? And he's an alcoholic, and his alcoholism is untreated. There's a lot happening there. I have nothing against church. This is not church. I am a believer. That's neither here or there. I'm drunk again in Jacksonville. I'm from Cleveland. I'm not from Florida, Jacksonville, or nowhere else. They scooped me up and they sent me down to Fort Myers. Things went well for a little while. I'm an alcoholic. I suffer from alcoholism. I'm resentful that a whole entity of God's people. I'm drunk in Fort Myers and on the street. They scooped me up and sent me in your area in Tarpon Springs. Things went, you know the story by now. Things went well for a while. I'm an alcoholic. I suffer from untreated alcoholism. I'm resentful of the whole entity of God's people. And I'm on the streets of Clearwater. And one night, some type of way, I got a bike and rolled over across the Bayside Bridge at about 3:30 in the morning. Don't know where I'm going. I ain't gonna find anything down here. I don't know nobody down here. There's a wonder I can even tell you any of this stuff that I'm trying to tell you, but for the grace of God. And I know that. Anyway, I found out where Turning Point was and this and that. Salvation Army and that kind of stuff. Let me tell you something, guys. I had a problem with the second part of your first step of my life being in the ministry. Let me tell you the best I did. A lot of good things happening there, always going to continue as could be. This is the best I did to clinch me at your first step. 44 years old, sleeping outside in the south side of the town that I'm not from. No job, no money, no address, no family members, no nothing. I was over alcohol. My life totally unmanageable. No different, no better than anybody else. So, and here's the other one, and then we'll cover. You know about Turning Point down in St. Pete? If you don't, I'll explain to you. One of the easiest places is for a drum. Okay, it's for a drum. The two requirements: be drunk, and if they have an available mat for you to lay on. Who can get in there? If you ever get red flag from the Turning Points, you got a problem. If you ever get red flag from the Turning Point, you got a problem. Now, the reason I was red flagged from the Turning Point is I had been there in succession. And I'll just say, because I don't know exactly, in about a 3-month period, I had been there in succession. They bridged the gap for me to go somewhere else, and I was back again. So that last time I went there, they said, you can't come here. Then I wanted to be crazy, and I told the St. Anthony that I was hearing stuff. Then got mad at that because I couldn't smoke cigarettes. Now I went crazy. I don't think about it, talk about this stuff all the time. Then I sit there and tell y'all that's insane. Anyway, okay, let's go to July 14, 2006. If consequences could have stopped me, I would have stopped a long time ago. I'm born and raised in Cleveland, right? It gets cold in the wintertime, don't it? Oh, that's my brother. Y'all don't know they do. So my drinking and my illness had me sleeping outside in the wintertime, and I said, oh my God, this is what this stuff is doing to me. I'm leaving it alone. And I meant that, and most of us have said that type of thing. Easiest question you're going to get tonight. Was that the last time I slept outside in the wintertime? I was over alcohol like that. On the 14th of July, 2006, you know, it's nice. It's around this time of year, right? Nothing exciting happened outwardly. I was tired on the inside. I was done. I didn't have any more ideas, conceptions, or beliefs on what Terrence was going to do with his life. And I called the guy to get some help on that day. I walked from 4th Avenue South to 38th Avenue North to get some help. The first God is on the scene now. Terrence is done. God is on the scene. About an hour and a half after that, I was in the turning point. That's the turning point. Yeah, tell them I ain't coming back. There you go, David. Number 4.
I think the drug device.
Maybe they have a curfew. Yes.
Okay, so we got to call the turning point, and I'm in the turning point. And I'm announced to me that this thing is getting ready to happen. Without me being totally involved, if you know what I mean. Without me deciding. Without me, my wheel going on. I don't know what word to put in there. But just, I'm out of the equation. So I don't know what to do. That would be out of the equation. It should have been out of the equation. A long time ago. But one promise in there, you know, I used to, wonder early on, what's all this stuff about? Well, there's a promise in there that says we'll see how yours, we'll see how our experiences can benefit others. Oh, I can use those. Okay. All right, so we get to the turning point. That was a Friday, and so I called the Salvation Army because I had been in there before, whatever, and I started. And let me tell you something. There's 2 prayers that I stood on. 2 prayers. One comes out of our big book that says, "Be still and know that I am God." And the other one was my own personal request, was, "Lord, help me forget those things I think I know so I can learn something new." Well, what did you mean by that, Terrence? That means all the knowledge that I had, I'll need to use it. If it come up, I need to ask you about it, my sponsor or support. I'm thinking about this. What do you think I should do? Because I had enough information to help change your life or kill me. And that's what it was doing. Then a lot of people say, man, you know what you're talking about. But I got multiple sobriety days to say, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. It is. That information was up there, and I really thought I could just pull it down where I need it. You dealing with an obsession, why you gonna pull it down and just block it off? You ain't gonna do nothing. And I didn't do anything. So that was my prayer, Lord, let me forget those things I think I know. That don't mean we forget what we know. I mean, Terrence, you don't need to be using it. Let somebody else do it. How simple is that? So I get back to the Salvation Army and stuff is getting ready to happen. I'm going to happen for you real quickly. Let's go through that thing. I didn't care what was going to happen. I didn't have nothing going on. When I got there, no address, no job. I didn't matter to me. I was done. I'll forget what did the chapter just say? We had to conceive of our innermost self when we were alcoholic. This is the first step in returning to it. Tell me nothing. I had to conceive to my innermost self. And that for me, that was almost like taking a literal swallow, saying, this is what I am, this is who I am. Well, let me tell you what God told me one of my last times in the turning point. Now, I done been to church, and I done been here. I'm sitting in the turning point, and you guys come in there to share and stuff like that. And scripture would come up in my head. It wasn't an audible voice, but it was the senses that said, listen here, dummy. This is where I want you and Alcoholics Anonymous for the problem that you have. Because see, you so selfish and self-centered. You come to that other arena, I can make you whole or whatever, but you so selfish and self-centered, you wouldn't So I'm going to make a way for it. You're going to have to be, in order for you to have a successful life and some peace and serenity and do something to be productive, you're going to have to help somebody. And I thank you for it. Because I'm still selfish and still. No, I really thank God for it. Okay, so we're in the Salvation Army. And I got back with my sponsor, and he told me a couple of things. One of the things he told me, he said, most people that he sponsored, he sees kind of fall by the wayside when it comes to steps 8 and 9. And I can identify with that. And we kind of chuckled about this guy, farmer who came out the cyclone cellar and see everything tore up, storm, and all. He can think it's the wind stopped blowing. And I can identify with that. I stopped drinking, everything should be all right. You know, everything's all right. And without a spiritual way of life, if I'm a real alcoholic, and I stop, guess what? It's the total opposite. Everything gets worse. Because you ain't got no answer no more. You ain't got no spiritual answer, and you ain't got no liquid answer. What you gonna do? So he said he got to get you up to Cleveland so you can make amends to your family and your mom and stuff. I'm in the Salvation Army. I said, there ain't no guideline in there. I'm thinking, there ain't no guideline in there to hold your bed for you for 10 days and let you go with your sponsor somewhere. I said, Mike, I don't think they're going to let me do that. He said, when God guides, God provides. He said, write a letter to the program director and see what happens. They allowed me to go up to Cleveland with my sponsor and heal my head from me. That type of thing is still not in the criteria of the Salvation Army. God is on the scene, and he don't need my help. So we went up there. One of the men I had to make was tonight. Well, it was ex-wife then. She had let me back in the house in 2002, coming off of binge and stuff or whatever. Make a long story short, she went to work that day and a large check came in the mail in my name. Untreated alcoholism, sitting there with nobody home. I battled that thing for maybe an hour. I left that house early part of April 2002, not to be in her life from that day to this one. And I had to make amends for that at that time. So how do you go do that? Man, you need to break me out, break me on what you do. Or to tell them people you're sorry and making no promises. They know you're sorry. You stay where you go wrong. And how can you make it right? And that's what I did. Now, the first miracle is, well, I talked to my mom this and that type of stuff. I like my sponsor statement when he talked about something like this. The stand-up guy that I am, I had my mom call my asshole. My mom is smarter than that. She called as soon as the lady picked up the phone, she had to do it. Some more miracles that has nothing to do with me. This woman agreed to even hear what I had to say on the phone after what I told you that happened. Okay? And now she's one of us also. You was just unmarried. I was married to this lady, right? She was in the program. It was Friday on the same day. July 14th. First, I think it's 91, 2014. Now I'm living with this one woman and don't even know her sobriety date. But I kind of realized why I didn't know her sobriety date, because I had too many of them. I'm trying to keep up with them. Come on. So, just like everything else in this program, I had memorized promises and this and that type of stuff. But prior to this, they weren't coming true in my life or whatever. And so I had to call the ex-landlord. He was surprised to hear from me. He said, I think I was hearing from you, no more. And I stayed there what my sponsor told me to say. When I got back to Florida, do you know he took me up on that offer? What? Are you kidding me? You talking about a new freedom, new happiness, economic insecurity, religion? Now I'm selfish and self-centered. My thing is, I'm hoping all my creditors pass away or move out of the country. results. Man, I couldn't wait to get those money orders. Where'd this come from? The banks start sending their collection agents in or whatever, making payments or whatever. You know, one of the, I can't tell you people this is my job, but they're responsible people, but I can tell you. I felt so good when I moved from the center to my sponsor's, house or whatever, and he was working with me. When I was able to pay him in full for 1 month, you should have seen. I didn't say that at work, but then people look at me like I'm crazy. It's been 25, 30 years. What the hell you been doing? But those little things, or whatever, can help me be a productive person of society. Well, my response to you, best we get here is basic human being. Just be a basic human being. And I won't bring you to the voting ring or anything, but when I picked up in 1999, you get those statements from the Social Security that tell you how much you made each year? When I got mine, I can see a 7-year stretch. You tell me not now, but after the meeting, who lives in the United States on $1,200 a year? $4,000 a year. 750, those are the ones I remember. Right? There's a 7-year stretch where I can see the unmanageability and the alcoholism. And then after that, I can see recovery in there too. That's just a gauge or whatever. The best thing that happened if I never get nothing else is the obsession has been removed. Boy, that's priceless. See if you can find it on Amazon. That's priceless. I'm serious. Right. You whatever, yeah. We're going to wrap it up here in a minute. But a couple of things. When I got done with my sponsor or whatever, I'm in Florida now, so I'm feeling pretty good. Last time speaking in prayer before me, sunshine. That's all right. So I speak prayer in, and I'm going to get the car. But now, I did a third step prayer, so it really ain't up to me. I kind of want it to be up to me. You know what God blessed me with? My first vehicle was a 1987 Chevy Astro van. The van had no air conditioning. The sliding door, that sliding door, it only opened from the outside. There was no bumper on the back. And that van lasted me about 3 years. I set it in the backyard, kind of mad and resentful for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it was obvious what to do with it. It became a recovery van. I started going to picking people up with it. You want to know the unique part about that van? About that sliding door, when people would get in, we go to a meeting. When you come from the meeting, the guy that's sitting on the front next to me, you couldn't get out the back until he let you out. You were experiencing powerlessness. I told him this is a recovery teaching tool. You have to ask for help to get out. It did. It didn't dawn on me that van lasted about 3 years, a little more than 3 years. It never broke down. If I took one left wrong turn on it, would have fell, it probably exploded. 2010, my son came down to visit, and we were talking and stuff or whatever, and he said, Grandma, my mom, she had retired from the school board, teacher or whatever she did. He said, Grandma, I'm trying to save up to get a flat screen TV because the TV is about to go out. And then the Spirit said, well, Terrence, you remember in your addiction when your mom came home and she seen a blank spot where her TV used to sit, and she cried straight tears, and it hurt you to your heart, but it didn't stop you? I said, yeah. So a part of the family, and you showed me that. Because my mom's only biological son, and it was at a point in time, you ain't welcome here. I could, what, let me tell you something. When mama turned her back on you, you did. You have done it. Now let's go full circle for what Alcoholics Anonymous did. 2014, I talked to my mom, probably late December, early January. I've been trying to get her to come down here and visit, you know, here and there, and I've never pressed the issue. She don't have to fly the bus right there. That's fine. Her health was failing, and she said it took her about an hour to fix her something to eat. I know that's not my mom. So I told her, I said, Mom, I think I'm going to have to come up there and get you. You know what she said? She said, I guess I better get ready. And so I talked it over with my wife, and she agreed, and my wife had told me, and my sister was on there, and we brought my mom back here to, you know, to stay with us and take care of her and stuff like that. So when we get to the, you know, got to change everything over, we get to the bank and change everything over to tell her, he writing everything up, and he said, Miss Holly, you want me to put your son's name on the account? I said, no, don't put my name on the account. She said, yeah, you can put it on there, I trust him. Excuse me. How a lady can make a statement like this, I'm trying to secure the house from the thief, and the thief is in the house. How does she come to say I trust him? I'm not. Because Alcoholics Anonymous and God don't understand. What it does me? I know it doesn't me. So, we got down here February, actually it was February 14th, 2014. Mom passed away November 16th. That was 9 months. And I can count. She carried me the first 9 months of my life. And Alcoholics Anonymous and God understand, bless me to be with my mom for the last 9 months of her life. And I know that's not everybody's experience and stuff like that. You have your own stories, and all of them are tailored, but I could never imagine anything like that. Never imagine anything like that. Alcoholics Anonymous has been the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And it's the last thing I wanted to do. The only thing that was going to help. And so got a chance to go to, in 2015, got a chance to go to the international conference in